Hey everybody, it's your Professor David Britt. Welcome to the end of week one, the start of week two. And I just wanted to give you some of my thoughts at the end of week one. It's in the books. I will finish grading today, so all of your work will be available for you to view in the grade book. And so make sure that you go in there today and look at the files, look at the videos, look at all my comments on your discussion forums, all the way through your papers. So by the end of today, you'll have all of your work graded. Here are my key takeaways and things that you should focus on in the upcoming week two. First of all, discussion forums. I want to focus now as we go forward on depth. You're going to be reading and having actually a discussion forum question on the importance of discussion boards. And so there's going to be a lecture here in week two that talks about the discussion forum three-step. And in essence, that's going to be what I'm looking for. So make sure that you do that. And I am looking at depth, particularly in your response posts. Get out of the habit, or don't even start the habit, of saying great post. Those are, I'm okay with you affirming that your fellow classmates, you thought they did a great post, but too often that is used and you just end up repeating what the person has already said. So you'll hear me and you'll see me talk about extending the conversation in discussion forums. And you can do that by sharing your research, by giving examples, by asking questions to get a true discussion going. And so I'm going to be looking much more now in week two on depth. I'm going to also be looking to see if you're applying that discussion forum three steps. So make sure that you read that lecture this week. And then the second thing on discussion forums will be support. You'll see in the rubrics that you're required to use support for your discussion board posts. And the reason that is because this isn't Facebook, and this isn't where you can just blindly say or forward or share or something, an opinion that may or may not be true. And so support from the CSU online library is important. You notice I didn't say Google. It's support from the CSU online library. So if you need to go back to start here and look at that tutorial video on how to access the CSU online library, that'll help you not only in your discussion forum posts, but certainly in your research for your paper going forward. If you have any questions on that, I spend a lot of time each term doing some one-on-one, walking students through the research methodologies here and how to use the CSU online library. So make sure that you use me if you have any questions in that area. The second thing I want to focus on would be short answer. Most of you did a pretty good job on these, but make sure you use the template that I provided, and then also make sure that you save the file names as I have instructed in the instructions. And let me explain the reason for that. It's easier for me to find your papers when I nest them in that methodology. So for example, Britt SA1, Britt SA2, Britt SA3 will all nest very easily as I put these on the cloud. And so if a student contacts me and I'm on the road somewhere, it gives me quick ability to go in and look at those. And so, yes, it's a convenience for me to do that, but it's also a benefit to you because it will give me quicker response. Same thing applies for papers. So, Britt A1, Britt A2, Britt A3, all the way down helps me access your papers quicker so that I can respond to you quicker if you have questions on that. All right? The one challenge for the short answer will be depth of response. And so some of you, for example, when I asked about the rhetorical situation this week, just gave me the 6 items. And that's part of the answer. It's more than just establishing a list. It's defining the terms inside that list. It's explaining the terms inside that list. So it's applying the terms inside that list. And so I want to be able to understand that you understand what I'm talking about as it relates to the questions that we ask in the short answer. So make sure that you increase your depth of response on those. And then finally on papers this week, you're You're going to see some general responses back from me, but the key thing, and hear me on this, the key thing that you need to do this week is live in the read and study section in week 2. In the read and study section of week 2, you're going to see lectures on paper structure, what has to be in each and every paper. We're going to talk about headings more in week 3, but I'm going to challenge you about headings because one of the things that I saw in the papers coming through is that most of you just did big paragraphs. And big paragraphs will get your paper, your proposal thrown in the trash pretty quickly. And the reason being is because if you have a boss for a proposal or a customer or client, they don't want to have to hunt for what you're trying to tell them to do. And so headings help structure a paper so that somebody can quickly go and say, okay, this section is about this section is about this section is about this. And so that's one of the key things. But we'll talk about headings more in week 3. But the 2 most important things that you're going to be reading this week is I've supplied a sample APA paper. And so I didn't do that in week 1 because I wanted to see how you write. But now you're going to have an official structure, if you will, for a sample APA paper that will show you a cover page. It will show you an abstract page. It will show you how to format your introduction, body headings in a paper, and then a reference page. And so from here on out, my expectation is that your papers follow that structure, okay? Real important. Make sure that you take the content that you had the first week, begin to add to it, but then put it into that structure of that sample APA paper, okay? And then the second thing is I'm presenting to you a 6-stop paper writing process that you can use going forward. And the 6-stop process will be important for you to develop this paper behind, because for the most part you're going to be solving a problem, right? You've got adult students, and whatever angles you've decided to approach with that, you've got adult students who face a problem, they face challenges, and so you're going to identify those challenges, and then you're going to provide some solutions for them as they go forward. And then not only are you going to provide solutions, but you're going to provide some implementation strategies. How are you going to show them how to get started? You may take an angle on this, for example, as a university. You may say what the purpose of your paper is to help universities reach adult students. And so adult students universities have a problem. They have problems reaching adult students because they're used to reaching 18-year-olds, So there's a challenge there. But you're going to provide some solutions. You're going to provide some implementation. So whatever angle that you look towards, this 6-stop model will help you format your paper so that you're walking the reader down a pathway to get them to say yes. So, final message, the read and study section in week 2 is where you need to camp out, where you need to live, and make sure that you read all of those as you go forward, all right? If you have any questions about anything that I said here or on your papers, make sure you reach out and talk to me. I'm going to be traveling starting the end of this week. I'll send out something else on that to give you my travel schedule, but I just wanted to give you a heads up and give you my thoughts at the end of a very busy first week. For those of you who are out there and need to chat with me again, make sure you reach out. Take care.